Before the crowns. Before the controversies. Before the world called her the Queen of Pop. There was a young girl sitting quietly in Michigan, carrying a pain that would shape one of the most fearless entertainers in modern history. And here's the twist nobody saw coming. The woman who would later dominate music, fashion, sexuality, film, and pop culture for over 4 decades was once a lonely child terrified of abandonment. But pain has a strange way of creating ambition. And Madonna turned hers into global power. She didn't just become famous. She became a movement. A woman who constantly reinvented herself so boldly that the world could never predict what version of Madonna would appear next. One era she looked like a rebellious street kid. Another era she looked like royalty. Then a spiritual mystic. Then a disco queen. Then a business mogul. Every transformation felt dangerous. Every comeback felt impossible. And every criticism somehow made her stronger. Because Madonna understood something very early. If the world is watching, make sure they never forget you. Early life, the childhood that built her hunger. Madonna was born Madonna Louise Ciccone on August 16, 1958, in Bay City, Michigan, USA. She was later raised in Rochester Hills, a quiet suburban area near Detroit. At first glance, her childhood looked ordinary. A large Catholic family, strict household rules, school routines, religious traditions, and hard-working parents trying to provide stability. But underneath that normal image was emotional heartbreak. Her mother, Madonna Louise Fortin Ciccone, was deeply religious, gentle, and admired by the family. Her father, Silvio Tony Ciccone, worked as an engineer for Chrysler and later managed a vineyard. Madonna adored her mother. And that's why the tragedy hit so hard. When Madonna was only 5 years old, her mother died from breast cancer at the age of 30. That loss shattered the family emotionally. Imagine being a little girl trying to understand why the person who made you feel safest suddenly disappeared forever. Madonna later admitted that this moment changed her personality permanently. After her mother's death, she became emotionally guarded, intensely independent, rebellious, ambitious, deeply afraid of weakness. Some biographers believe Madonna's obsession with control and reinvention came from that early trauma. Because once she lost her mother, she never wanted life to overpower her again. Parents and family, growing up inside a strict Catholic household. The Ciccone household was loud, crowded, disciplined, and deeply religious. Madonna was one of 6 children from her parents' marriage. Her siblings included Anthony Ciccone, Martin Ciccone, Paula Ciccone, Christopher Ciccone, Melanie Ciccone. Later, after her father remarried the family's housekeeper, Joan Gustafson, the family expanded further with step-siblings. But Madonna struggled emotionally with the remarriage. To her, it felt like her mother's memory was being replaced. That emotional tension created distance between her and her father for years. Her father believed in strict rules and discipline. Madonna believed in challenging authority. You can already see the future superstar forming there. Even as a child, she wanted attention. She wanted freedom. She wanted to shock people. Teachers noticed her confidence early. Friends noticed her competitiveness. And family members noticed something else. Madonna hated being ordinary. School and educational background, the brilliant student nobody expected. One of the biggest misconceptions about Madonna is that she succeeded only because of controversy or beauty. The reality, she was extremely intelligent and disciplined. Madonna attended Rochester Adams High School and became known for high grades, strong focus, perfectionism, athletic ability, dancing talent. She was also a cheerleader and honor student. But academically talented students aren't usually expected to become global pop rebels. That contradiction made Madonna fascinating even then. Her dance teacher, Christopher Flynn, became one of the most important mentors in her life. Flynn introduced her to art, culture, music, and the possibility of a life bigger than Michigan. He reportedly took her to museums, concerts, ballet performances, gay clubs in Detroit's underground scene. Those experiences expanded Madonna's worldview dramatically. Eventually, she earned a dance scholarship to the University of Michigan. At university, she studied dance intensely. But her ambitions were growing too large for college classrooms. Then came the life-changing leap. At 19 years old, Madonna moved to New York City with almost no money. No backup plan, no powerful connections, no guarantee of success, just belief, and perhaps a little recklessness. She later said, "It was the first time I'd ever taken a plane, the first time I'd ever gotten a taxi cab." That young woman from Michigan had no idea she was about to become one of the most recognizable humans on earth. New York struggles, poverty before fame. New York didn't welcome Madonna gently. She lived in tiny apartments, worked low-paying jobs, posed for art classes, waitressed, danced professionally, sometimes barely survived financially. There were moments she had almost nothing. But struggle didn't scare her. In many ways, it fueled her. Madonna joined dance groups and eventually became involved in music through New York's underground club scene. The clubs of late 1970s New York became her real education. That's where she learned performance, style, nightlife culture, image creation, audience psychology. She realized something critical: talent mattered, but image and confidence could make people unforgettable. And Madonna was becoming unforgettable very quickly. Music career, the rise of the Queen of Pop. Madonna first performed in bands like Breakfast Club and Emmy before launching her solo music career. Then the 1980s exploded. Her early hits included Holiday, Lucky Star, Borderline. Suddenly, audiences noticed her unique mix of street style, dance music, confidence, sexuality, playful rebellion. Then came the game-changing moment. Like a Virgin, the song transformed Madonna from rising artist into global superstar. And when she performed it at the 1984 MTV Video Music Awards wearing a wedding dress while rolling on stage, the world realized this woman was different. Very different. She knew exactly how to create moments people could never stop talking about. Reinvention, Madonna's greatest weapon. Most artists try to protect one image. Madonna destroyed her own image repeatedly and rebuilt it stronger each time. That became her superpower. Every era felt new. Material Girl, glamour, religious imagery in Like a Prayer, sexual liberation in Erotica, spiritual awakening during Ray of Light, disco revival during Hung Up. She constantly evolved with changing times. And that's why she survived generation after generation. While many stars faded, Madonna adapted. That adaptability made her nearly impossible to replace. Controversy, why the world couldn't stop talking about her. Madonna became one of the most controversial entertainers in modern history. Religious organizations protested her. Conservative critics attacked her. Television networks censored her. Why? Because she challenged nearly every social expectation placed on women. She openly discussed sexuality, religion, gender roles, freedom, desire, power. At a time when female artists were expected to behave carefully, Madonna behaved fearlessly. Sometimes outrageously, but controversy became part of her brand. And whether people loved or hated her, they paid attention. That attention kept her culturally dominant for decades. Acting career and business empire. Madonna also explored acting, starring in films like Desperately Seeking Susan, Evita, A League of Their Own. Her performance in Evita earned major praise and even a Golden Globe Award. Beyond entertainment, Madonna became an incredibly smart businesswoman. She built wealth through music sales, tours, fashion, publishing, fitness brands, endorsements, production companies. Her tours became legendary spectacles generating massive revenue worldwide. Madonna wasn't simply an artist anymore. She became an empire. Relationships, passion, chaos, and public fascination. Madonna's love life became global tabloid material for decades. Her relationships often combined intense chemistry, public drama, emotional complexity, media obsession. One of her most famous relationships was with Sean Penn. They married in 1985 and became one of Hollywood's most explosive couples. Their relationship was passionate but turbulent. Arguments, paparazzi attention, and emotional intensity surrounded them constantly. Eventually, they divorced in 1989. Madonna later had relationships with several famous men including Warren Beatty, Dennis Rodman, Vanilla Ice, Tupac Shakur. One particularly fascinating story involved Tupac. Years after his death, a letter revealed that Tupac ended their relationship partly because of racial pressures and public image concerns. It became one of pop culture's most talked about what-if romances. Later, Madonna married Guy Ritchie in 2000. Their relationship initially appeared calmer and more mature. But eventually, differences in lifestyle and personality contributed to divorce in 2008. Children, the softer side of Madonna. For someone often described as fierce and intimidating, motherhood revealed another side of Madonna. She became deeply devoted to her children. Madonna has 6 children. Lourdes Leon with fitness trainer Carlos Leon. Rocco Ritchie with Guy Ritchie. David Banda, Mercy James, Stella Saccone, Esther Saccone. Several of her children were adopted from Malawi. Madonna developed a strong connection to the country through humanitarian work and charity efforts. Friends close to her say motherhood grounded her emotionally in ways fame never could. Behind the superstar image was a woman trying to protect, guide, and love her family while living under global scrutiny. Legacy: why Madonna will never be forgotten. Many stars dominate a decade. Madonna dominated generations. Her impact on music and culture is almost impossible to measure completely. She helped redefine female power in entertainment, live concert performances, pop music visuals, celebrity branding, fashion trends, music videos, artistic reinvention. Without Madonna, modern pop culture would look radically different. Artists like Britney Spears, Lady Gaga, Beyoncé, Rihanna, Taylor Swift, all entered an industry Madonna helped transform. She proved women could control their careers, own their image, challenge society, age without disappearing, dominate business and creativity simultaneously. But perhaps Madonna's greatest achievement is simpler than all the awards and records. She stayed relevant for more than 40 years. In an industry that forgets people quickly, Madonna refused to be forgotten. Because she never waited for permission to evolve. She simply reinvented herself again. And forced the world to keep watching.